Kenya is getting ready to receive King Charles and Queen Camilla into the country. And one person who is over the moon with joy is President William Ruto himself. A while ago, he hosted the British High Commissioner to Kenya, Neil Wigan, in preparation to the much-awaited visit by King Charles and Queen Camilla. William Ruto is very happy that King Charles chose Kenya as their first visit to a Commonwealth country. Over 100 countries that were colonized by Britain, they chose to visit Kenya as their first destination in a Commonwealth country. And I want us to look at what William Ruto said. Kenya is honored that King Charles and Queen Camilla have chosen our country for their first visit to a Commonwealth nation. This choice is testament to the depth of our relations and the mutual beneficial nature of our partnership. The visit is a significant opportunity to enhance our collaboration in various areas of shared interest. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, what does the visit by King Charles mean to Kenya? What does it mean to William Ruto? That is what I want us to look at briefly. But before we do this, kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time and click the notification bell. This will allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. You can also like our videos and share them. To those who support us, I would like to take this opportunity again to thank you. I'm really humbled to have such esteemed supporters. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to begin by noting the fact that William Ruto was installed to power by the USA and the British government. If you know that, then you will just understand how significant this visit is to President William Samoei Ruto. Now, let us also understand that when they signed a deal to ensure that William Ruto was going to be supported to get into the most coveted house, State House, it came with a price, because William Ruto also had to sign on certain things that he was going to do to the US and to the British government. For those who watch this channel, I have always mentioned over and over again that things like GMO, LGBTQ, things like subsidies were removed just because William Ruto is dancing to the tune of the Western powers. So as King Charles prepares to come to Kenya, I want us to look at just 3 things that brings him to Kenya. Number 1, since they installed William Ruto to power, William Ruto must take care of their businesses. I was reading that there are about 100 British investment companies that their total value is about £2 billion. That is who they are in Kenya. And what are some of the multinational investment that they have? Just a few. You all know that Barclays Bank is a British bank. Standard Chartered Bank. You know of Glasgow Smith Kline Beecham. It is a British company. Del Rey, that prints our money, is a British company. And of course, Unilever. Those are just but a few companies that operate in Kenya, but they have their roots from Britain. So the reason why William Ruto was installed there is to ensure that these businesses thrive. He will make sure that it takes care of them. And so as King Charles comes to the country, he will be looking at the fate and how the businesses are being protected, because the businesses employ many people. They're also a source of income to the British government. So that is number 1 that brings them to the country. You also understand that Kenya sits very strategically and geographically in East Africa. It is the entry point to, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Uganda, and that is why the Western powers have got a lot of interest in it, economically, in terms of security. With the escalating threats of terrorism, US and UK would always want that they own Kenya. And in fact, William Ruto is doing them a good thing because he has accepted everything that they want. So he's also coming to ensure that security-wise, their satellite monitoring is safe. Did you know that Britain has got a military base in Kenya? They have what we call Nyati Barracks in Laikipia, Nanyuki County. And I was just looking as I was doing my research that the Nyati Barracks contains their headquarters, accommodation, mess, stores, and offices. That is their headquarters in Nanyuki. Not only that, they have Kifaru Barracks in Nairobi. Kifaru Barracks is just a logistical hub where they do their logistics. And of course, they have another one in Kahawa Barracks that is hosted by the Kenya Army. It's similar to that one in Nairobi. So they have those military barracks. And the reason why they have those military barracks, they will sometimes train Kenya on how to combat terrorism, but they have the interest in it. So that should there be any war between the East and the West, maybe Russia and Britain, they will be loading their arsenal in Kenya. And that is why they are very interested in Kenya. And that is what brings him, because he's also going to look at security-wise, how they fare. You know, they have the UK commissioners' offices. They must be safe. Neil Wigan must be safe. And so as the king comes to the country, those are some of the things that he's going to look at. They will also be looking at what they call freedom and rights of the minority. And in this, I want to pick just on one. I know they will be talking about the rights of women as the minority. William Ruto had promised in Chatham House that he was going to ensure that we have a 2/3 gender rule. And that is why in the Bomas dialogue, he is pushing for the BBI among other things because he had promised. So King Charles will be looking at some of these promises. Remember, they are the ones who forced William Ruto to sit down on a dialogue table with Raila Amolo Odinga. That is why you see those talks in the Bomas. Otherwise, it couldn't have happened. They are oiling whatever is happening there with a lot of money. They are supporting it with the resources. So as he comes back, he will be looking at the fate of the Bomas talks, because they want these talks to succeed. Because as I've mentioned to you, these businesses can only thrive when there is peace in the country. When people go for demonstrations, people don't go to work, they suffer losses. And that is why anytime Raila calls for demonstration, you will see them coming in, the ambassadors, the Chris Coons, US Delaware Senator, because when there is no peace, their businesses suffer losses. Number two, when people go for demonstrations, they fear that these demonstrations can escalate to a full-blown battle, and without porous borders, we will have proliferation of guns from the neighboring countries, and the terrorists can take advantage of that. And that is one thing they don't want. So they are going to look at the fate of the Bomas talks, how they are faring on. They will be meeting Raila, I'm sure, because I saw Neil Wigan had met Raila before King Charles jets into the country, just to assure him of the peace. Raila assured him of the peace, and he assured Raila of the commitment to the talks and the resources that they give. So they are going to look at it. Now, after this, I know they will be signing more trade deals. Remember that Britain, during the Brexit, they are no longer part of the European Union. So they chart their way forward, their own way forward. They sign deals with they will sign their own deals as Britain now, not as the European Union. So they will be signing some trade deals. And William Ruto is going to get more money. He's very happy because money will be channeled to the military bases on training, how to combat Al-Shabaab, how to combat money laundering. There will be a lot of money, and William Ruto is happy with it. And this is the main reason why William Ruto is even taking 1,000 policemen to Haiti. There will be a lot of benefits. Now, they will also be giving money to William Ruto to assist in climate transition. William Ruto has really posed himself as a president who is committed to climate change, speaking on behalf of Africans. I know you've seen him saying that we must plant trees. He's targeting something. And when the king comes, you know very well that he's going to give more money in support of the climate change renewable energy, clean water, all those kind of things. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this visit is very, very important to William Ruto. That is why he cannot question whatever Britain says, or America. They installed him in power, and they want to ensure that William Ruto succeeds, because Kenya is at a very strategic point. It's the economic hub in East Africa in terms of artillery, protection, and their military. They have a lot of military bases, and so they're coming to ensure that everything is set, ladies and gentlemen. I know it poses a lot of challenge to William Ruto, because with the war that is going on between Palestine and Israel and Palestine, when the king is coming into the country, there must be tight security. And of course, I just want to mention that maybe they will be hosted, some of those, because he's coming with a host of dignitaries, some of our dignitaries will be spending in the biggest hotels, and that means more money to Kenya. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that is my take.